In today's daily dose of math, we're given a graph with line 1 and line 2 showing on it. And we're asked the question, what is the difference between the y-intercepts of line 1 and line 2? I'm going to do several examples where the question keeps on being the same. In this first example, I've made it really easy because the first thing to talk about is simply the meaning of the word difference. Difference means we're subtracting. So if we know the y-intercepts, the two y-intercepts they're talking about, and we subtract one from the other, then we know the difference between them. So the y-intercepts of these two lines are given in this case because the equations are given in y equals ax plus b form, and the b part of that is the y-intercept. So if I find the difference between 1 and -5, I answer the question. Since these numbers were handed to me, it's very fast, and I simply say 1 minus -5 equals 6. The difference is 6. If I do it backwards and say -5 minus 1, I get -6. But the difference will be the absolute value, so the difference is still 6. Let's move on and create example 2 and make it not quite so easy. Okay, ready. In example 2, we're given the slopes of both lines. And in each case, we're given a point that's on each line. But we're not given the y-intercepts directly. We still have to answer the same question. Well, I have to find the y-intercepts of these two lines. So I have to do some calculations. Knowing that the straight line equation is y equals ax plus b, knowing that the slope of line 1 is -1, I have y equals -1x plus b. And I know that the point 3, 0 is on this line, so I can plug x equals 3, y equals 0 into the x and y in this equation. 0 equals -3 plus b. If I move my -3 to the other side, it becomes positive. My b is 3. My equation is y equals -x plus 3. But what I need is the y-intercept, which is the 3. That's one of the values I'm going to use when I calculate my difference. Now I'm going to do the same thing with line 2. Again, using y equals ax plus b form, I know this one has to be y equals -1/2 x plus b because the slope given was -1/2. I'll plug in the point they gave me, which was -3, -2. And I simplify and I isolate my b. -2 equals 3/2 plus b. b is equal to -2 minus 3/2, which is -7/2. I know my equation. Y is equal to -1/2 x minus 7/2. And now I can find the difference between the y-intercepts. 3 minus -7/2 is equal to 3 plus 7/2, which is 13/2. Or if I prefer, 6.5 in decimal form. I have answered my question. Calculating the difference is always very, very quick because we just need to have two numbers and subtract. In this case, though, we have to have the y-intercepts. They weren't given, but we use little tricks for how we deal with the equations of straight lines to quickly find the y-intercepts, and then we subtract them when we answer our question. Let's do one more example. Okay, we're ready. For question 3, we have one straight line, line 1, where we know 2 points, but neither of them is the y-intercept. and we don't know the slope. In line 2, we have no 2 points, but there is clear evidence that what we have here is a horizontal line. So there's going to be a shortcut for line 2. For line 1, let's do the slope formula and find our y-intercept so that we can start doing the same process we did in example 2. The slope formula, y2 minus y1, is 5 minus 0 over x2 minus x1, 2 minus negative 2. And we get 5/4 as our slope. So we have an equation, y equals 5/4 x plus b. And we know the point negative 2, 0 is our x-intercept. We can plug that in. 0 equals 5/4 times negative 2 plus b. 0 equals negative 5/2 plus b. Therefore, positive 5/2 equals b. And we have our equation. Y equals 5/4 x plus 5/2. That took a bit of time because we had 2 steps to do to get our y-intercept, the 5/2. But this one, we have a horizontal line. This is line 1 that I did here. For line 2, we know that the equation of a horizontal line is y equals number, whatever number the y-intercept is. We keep on having a y-coordinate of negative 6 on this line, so the equation is y equals negative 6. Therefore, the y-intercept is negative 6, and we're ready to do our subtraction. 5/2 minus negative 6 is the same as 5/2 plus 6, which is 17/2. We have calculated our difference. We have answered the question, and we know that when we are familiar with straight line equations, when we are familiar with things like the concept of the y-intercept, the b, and the slope, the a, we're able to do anything we need to, and we can find the information we need by doing those little tricks to answer a question like this and turn it into an easy question. That is today's Daily Dose of Math. Please like, subscribe, and share.